And saints of God, I was looking at an online video between Magic Jordan and Steve Harvey. And in this particular video, there was a young man who was thanking Magic Johnson for opening up a Nokia theater in the middle of the hood. Let me tell you something, that's some of our problem now. We don't want to go to the hood. Oh, y'all better say something in this church today. And I'm not just talking about the physical hood. Some of us don't want to go to the hood places that God is trying to take us to because we're too scared of what's there. If God told you to go there, don't you believe that God is God enough to take care of you when you get there? But the young man was telling him, thank you. He said, thank you. He said, because you opened this theater, I learned my work ethic. No one else would hire me. But as a result, I started out working in the ticket booth. He said, but then I became a manager. And here was Magic Johnson's response. He said, I had to take a leap or a jump in planning it there. And saints of God, what Magic Johnson actually went on to say, he said, and what I realized is that when I leap, somebody else is hanging on to my parachute, and when they land, they then take another leap with somebody else hanging on to their parachute. What if somebody else's leap was waiting on you to take your leap? Every now and again, there's somebody that's going to be hanging on your parachute that's going to be given permission when you take the leap. Tell somebody, you've got to take the leap. Tell somebody, you've got to take the leap. And see, this whole notion of taking the leap means, one, you've got to let go of I never did it that way. Some folks, it is the refusal to change that's going to keep you on the shore. Life is about change. And if you don't believe life is about change, you just keep on watching our new president because he keeps showing us that he's changing a whole lot of things. This church was about change. How many remember during the days in the gym, sometime you come in and the chairs would be in a circle? One time we actually filled up the church from the back so that all the late folk had to walk up front. We've always been a church that talked about the importance of change. And let me tell you something, I'm going to be real honest with you. Sometimes change is hard. Am I talking right to anybody in here? Sometimes, but change is necessary. We are in an ever-changing time. And then sometimes you've got to tell yourself, I've got to get unstuck from where I am. But then also, the whole leap, the E in leap reminds us to elevate your expectation. If you don't expect anything for yourself, you will most certainly get nothing. Oh, I know I'm talking right in here. If we do not expect anything from our young people, then we won't get anything. We've got to elevate our expectation. And I just believe in a God who will help all of us to meet a different level of expectation. I hope you don't believe that you're stuck where you are. I hope that you don't believe that nothing will ever change. Because as long as there is breath in your body, there is possibility for things to turn in another direction. How many folk believe what I'm saying in here? As long as you keep getting up, I don't care how dark it is, as long as you keep getting up, it's a reminder that it is possible for things to, and some of us, we just had to keep walking until we saw things begin to change. But elevate your expectation. But the A in leap reminds us, let me tell you something, you have to anticipate resistance. Can I just talk real talk with you? Everybody in church ain't going to be happy when you decide to take a leap. I've even seen in this church growing up where folks would get up and give a testimony, and there'd be a few folks like this. Some folk don't want you you to take a leap. But you've got to anticipate resistance. And let me tell you why it's important to anticipate resistance. When you can anticipate resistance, I'm not saying it's not going to hurt, but what I will say, it won't hurt as bad because you knew that some resistance was coming. But then let me tell you, so when resistance and resistors come, you better clap your hands and praise God because I just believe that when you get that kind of resistance, it lets you know that you are headed somewhere strong and that you're headed somewhere positive because the enemy wouldn't fight you if you wasn't trying to get somewhere where you were going to make a difference. But sometimes it is the resistance that creates in you the fire to keep on going. How many folks have ever been inspired by your enemies? How many folks have ever been committed to do better when you felt the flames rage? Keep on going because resistance will come, but you can rise above the resistance. But then the P in the leap reminds us that sometimes you got to push yourself. You got to push yourself to get up when you want to stay in the bed. Oh, I know I'm talking to somebody in here. You got to push yourself to keep going even when the money is running dry. You've got to push yourself past some petty people. You've got to push yourself beyond staying stuck and wallowing and complaining and rehearsing what's wrong with your life and who hurt you. I mean, preaching to my own self. Sometimes our problem is we become broken records and we're scratched and we keep on singing the same story for 5, 6, 7 years and then we're wondering why we can't get over the hurdle. It's because we have become scratched, broken records. And sometimes you got to push yourself and say, it wasn't right, but it's okay. God is still going to help me. You've got to push when everybody else around you is pointing their finger at you and saying all manners of evil against you. You've got to push when the money has run out. You've got to push if nobody's calling you with another job interview. You've got to push when the people you thought were going to be your biggest cheerleaders have now begun to talk about you behind your back. You've got to push if nobody is there to push, because let me tell you, so when you learn how to push yourself, you stop looking for everybody to tell you what you should have been telling yourself long time ago. It's all right to have a good crowd of cheerleaders, but every now and again the cheerleaders got to cheer for themselves. But you've got to learn how to push yourself on even when your heart is breaking. Push yourself on even when the tears are streaming down your face, because I've learned if you keep pushing, you'll push your way into a blessing. And sometimes if you keep pushing, you'll push yourself to the right person who'll open up a door, who'll open up a window, who'll give you the opportunity that you've been seeking. But you got to keep pushing. Tell somebody, keep pushing.